821, Dr. Jeffrey Lowell is with us, professor of surgery and pediatrics from Washington University. He joins us via Skype as usual. Good morning, Dr. Jeffrey Lowell.
Good morning, McGraw.
All right, we'll talk a little Cardinal baseball in a second, but first, this rollout of the healthcare.gov website is, the best thing you can say is that it's awful. It's just been 2 or 3 weeks. It's been terrible.
And it's not good, that's for sure. I mean, we can come up with lots of excuses why. Lots of stuff going on, probably managed poorly in terms of coordinating the 50 or so contractors that needed to be involved in, setting all of these exchanges up. Maybe the whole thing should have been outsourced to Amazon or to Netflix. I mean, those are people who are... those are people who have a tremendous amount of experience, not only in the customer interface, but also managing mega databases with high volume. And not so much government databases. They don't really do that, other than some of these complicated Department of Defense ones, which deal with weapon systems and things like that. I think this was a little bit of a stretch.
What are you hearing from inside the medical community? Are the doctors worried, hospitals worried, or they think it's going to get all ironed out?
No, I think they're worried, but they're worried about the government defaulting. They're not. I mean, this is all of the issues in both the government being shut down, as well as the potential default, has sucked the air out of every news. I mean, this definitely would be the news story if it weren't for what's going on in Congress. I don't think everybody's confident that this thing will get fixed. But I think there's more concern about Congress not getting fixed.
I agree. This would be a much bigger story if we weren't falling off a cliff with the debt ceiling. All right, you pass along a story to me. Vitamin D vital when you reach middle age?
Well, it may not be vital. Lots of people. Lots of people take it, but there's not that much great evidence, just like with many medicines that are prescribed and people take, great scientific evidence that it really helps. There may be some subpopulations that it helps, like if you have both calcium and vitamin D deficiency, but for the majority of people who are taking vitamin D, and they take a lot of vitamin D, there's been like 23 randomized trials that show it probably doesn't help most of them.
But you've told us that there are kids who are deficient in vitamin D, and kids need vitamin D, but adults don't need it as much as kids?
Well, kids need it from sunshine, because that's where their vitamin D is coming from the sunshine, metabolizing a couple of the different components of vitamin D. Vitamin D has some subcomponents, and you need sunshine to convert one to another. So when kids are sitting in the house playing PlayStation 55 instead of going outside and playing kickball or riding their bike, that's where they become vitamin D deficient.
Interesting. Doctor, a lot of people say they don't exercise because they have bad knees. Is that a good excuse?
No, it can be, but there are things that you can do about it. And as we've talked about a few times, the most important thing you can do is to try and lose weight, because that's the biggest strain in your knee is carrying around too much extra weight. And it's a little bit of a catch-22, because you don't want to exercise because you got bad knees, and then you sit around and eat more Cheetos. But there has to be a break point. You have to start someplace. Now, lots of people try and take supplements as a way to deal with their knee pain, both glucosamine and chondroitin, and people take tons of this stuff because there's lots of people who have knee pain, and some may even take it for back pain. But there has been plenty of studies that now show that both of these medicines have a tremendous placebo effect. Like, it helps people someplace between 50 and 70% of the time just taking sugar pills when it was compared to both chondroitin and glucosamine. But the amount of effect, the actual effect from these medicines versus the placebo, is at best tiny.
That's really interesting. What you keep hearing about those two supplements, what are they supposed to do? Are they supposed to...
Well,
go ahead.
Yeah, well, they help horses, and they've been tried in horses, and there's some scientific evidence that they help horses, and they may even help dogs. But so far, the scientific evidence is that they're supposed to kind of go to, they're a component of cartilage, and the thought is that, well, If we can make more cartilage by taking glucosamine and chondroitin and strengthen the cartilage that's there, or grow more where it's getting thin, by taking these, it'll help the knee pain. That's the theory. It just hasn't proven to be true.
Interesting. All right, Doctor, we're short on time, but next week, are you here next week, or is Dr. Bradley Freeman here?
Dr. Bradley Freeman will be in the chair next week.
Where are you on vacation, or are you going over to Europe to help out the troops again?
No, I've got some training coming up, both civilian and military training, and actually December I am being deployed for about 6 or 7 months.
Where are you going? Can you tell us?
Going to Northern Africa.
Northern Africa. So we're going to have Bradley Freeman for 6 months?
In the capable, expert hands of Dr. Brad Freeman.
Will you be able to Skype in from Africa at some point? We can check in with you there?
Definitely.
That should be fun. All right. Have a good couple weeks. We'll talk to you in a couple weeks. That is Dr. Jeffrey Lowell, Professor of Surgery and Pediatrics at Washington University via Skype here in St. Louis. Doctor, have a good week. Thanks.
Take care, McGraw.
You got it.